let this be.
Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, and make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I can continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks every single day. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Today. And for the new folks who are new to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will, I'm going to say welcome to the family. I appreciate all the love. Follow me on Twitter at Gamecocks Talk. Follow me on Instagram at Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. And follow me wherever you may get your podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, whatever your choice. Make sure you hit Talk with Captain Will. Ladies and gentlemen, Gamecocks have just defeated the North Carolina State Wolfpack women's basketball team in Charlotte, North Kakalaki. It has went down. So you know we got a good one today, y'all. I said we got a good one today, y'all. It is shot o'clock. Gamecocks won by 14. It is time to turn up for like I said, for the new folks. The new folks, we do things differently on our podcast. We do things differently. We celebrate the victories in a unique way. You know, it's shot o'clock. So whatever your beverage of choice, if it's a little bit of vodka like I got, if it's some sweet tea, which is another beverage that I love, it's some water, some Ensure, if it's some orange juice, whatever your beverage of choice, make sure you have it ready when you're watching your man, Captain Will. So in honor for this Gamecock victory, shot o'clock, y'all. Woo! The demise of the South Carolina three-time national champions have been sadly over-exaggerated. The situation that Carolina might have lost a step, the situation that Carolina might be slim, easy pickings for some of these top-ranked teams was grossly exaggerated. What you saw today was an efficient Gamecock basketball team. What you saw today was a Gamecock victory over a top 10 opponent. North Carolina State is going to win a ton of basketball games this season. There were a lot of North Carolina State fans in the Spectrum Center, but it far were fewer than what South Kakalaki brought into the Queen City. Gamecocks travel. Gamecocks take over situations. And we breaking this game down. Get a swig. We breaking this thing down. It wasn't always pretty. It wasn't. And if you have a situation where Chloe Kitts didn't start, first off, we have to start with that. She didn't start. She didn't play at all. She missed this game because of an academic issue. So things were a little flux from the beginning. So I predicted that Joyce was going to start the basketball game. That happened. She started alongside Sania Feagin. The rotations were changed from the beginning. It took a step and a half for the Gamecocks to get back to what they supposed to be doing. And in the first quarter, it took a minute. If you look at the first quarter, we weren't shooting the ball well. We weren't shooting the ball well at all. We were shooting about 38% from field goal range. That's not Gamecock basketball. We were 0 for 4. 0 for 4 from the three. So that's a continuing problem through 5 quarters of basketball. Field goal percentage low compared to previous years. 3-point percentage was low. Continued on 0 for 4. So through 5 quarters of basketball, South Carolina was 5 for, what was that, 31? 5 for 31 shooting the 3 ball. Pow had, and this is the first quarter, Pow had 6 points, 0 for 1 from 3. Watkins, can we talk about the ovation that Ashlyn Watkins received when she went to the scores bench? It was amazing. It was amazing. And she had 2 points. She was 1 for 4 from the field in the first quarter, and we saw her trying to get her timing back. And she had 3 rebounds. Tessa, 0 for 1. Didn't do much at all in the first quarter. Raven, 1 for 2. 0 for 1 from 3. Raven hit 2 points in the first quarter. Sakima Walker. There was a Sakima Walker sighting, 2 points, 1 for 1. And Sakima, when she was in the basketball game, played strong like that with a rebound. Joyce Edwards, 1 for 3 with 2 points. The first thing when I did a show earlier, a couple days ago, I said we got to get off to a better start. We have to get a better start. And we didn't get to a better start. We did not. It was a situation where Carolina still had the hangover from Michigan, and North Carolina State was shooting the lights out, but we were still ahead after 1 quarter, 17-14. I felt some type of way, y'all. I'm not going to front. I felt some type of way because North Carolina State was shooting 46% from the field. Okay, they were shooting 67% from the field in the first quarter. But they had a ton of turnovers in the first quarter. Our defense was let's say nasty. North Carolina State helped us out some, but our defense was playing Carolina-type basketball, and that was the first quarter. Offense still not there, but we still led by 3 points. So getting off to a better start didn't matriculate. It didn't happen. Joyce brought the energy. Joyce also brought some turnovers. Ashlyn Watkins was a presence in the middle, which we knew. And first quarter was tight. I said that another point I made yesterday, good key to victory was for Chloe to pick up where she left off. Well, obviously she didn't play, so she couldn't pick up where she left off. But what we saw in this basketball game was Sania Feagin playing like Sania Feagin was built up to be. She was tough. She was strong. She rebounded the basketball. She played good defense. She was an intimidator. And with Carolina, when one player is missing, somebody else steps up. First game, Chloe with 19 points, 14 rebounds. Well, in that second quarter, Pow, Fulwiley went off. And that's all I can say. Went off. After the second quarter, Fulwiley had a total of 12 points, 5 for 9 from the field. Okay? 1 for 2 from the three-point line. And the utmost confidence in her shot, in her ability, she was back. And lights out, Pow is playing wonderful, complimentary basketball. After the second quarter, Pow had 11 points, 1 for 3 from field goal range, and 5 for 8 from the field. Okay, that was Tina Pow. She was solid in every metric of basketball through 2 quarters. Ashlyn Watkins found her footing. She had 4 points and 5 rebounds to close out the second quarter, going into the second half. Joyce had 6 points, 2 rebounds, still trying to find her way. This was not the game for Tessa. She didn't play much at all in this basketball game. But Powell picked her up. Fulwiley picked her up. Bree was in some foul trouble early, so she didn't play much. But I loved the play of Tahina Pow and MiLaysia Fulwiley. Some wonderful basketball, offensively and defensively. That second quarter was our quarter. We shot 9 for 14 from the field, 64% from field goal range. 64% from three-point line was 2 for 3 for 67%. That is Gamecock basketball. So we are back to some full. We had 5, I want to say, bad quarters of basketball from the Michigan game, transfers to the first quarter of this basketball game. But that second quarter, we turned up. We turned it up, and that's how I want to see basketball for the South Carolina Gamecocks. Now, in that quarter, North Carolina State was still shooting the ball. And North Carolina State was hitting their shots today. And I was telling my wife, I said, hey, babe, like, okay, eventually it's going to regress to the mean because North Carolina State for the year last season weren't a great shooting basketball team. There are a lot of one-on-one play, and you saw the game today. It was a lot of one-on-one play, but today they were hitting their shots. And through 2 quarters, North Carolina State shooting 46% against a defense that was number 1 in the country last season. Okay, now through 6 quarters of basketball, we don't look like the number 1 team defensively in the country. We are allowing field goal percentage that is higher than normal. We're allowing 3-pointers that are higher than normal. Our defensive rating is higher than normal. We have to fix some things. And so I don't like doing assessments until after 10 games because then you can have a clearer picture of what they're doing and the tendencies of our team and where we actually sit in offensive rating and defensive rating, because you have a team like South Carolina who has played one top 10 team and another team in Michigan who I believe will be top 25 when the new polls come out. So you're talking about 2 top 25 teams that Carolina potentially have played. And you have other teams who have played nobody. You have LSU who has played 2 junior college teams, if you will. Yeah, so we don't get better. Carolina, we got Coppin State on Thursday. This is not a time. We're not going to get better with Coppin State. No disrespect to Coppin State whatsoever. I love the HBCU. I love it's in the Baltimore area. I spent a whole lot of time up in that area, about 7 years when I was in the military. But that's not a game that we get better. Carolina gets better by playing top teams like a North Carolina State. Top teams like a Michigan, who I think is going to be very good this year. And the deficiencies, the flaws in this team are showing up like warts. We see what is wrong. We see where we can get better. And the coaching staff got to, work the kinks out this system. But we are 2-0, and we have 2 victories against Power 5 teams. We have 2 victories against 2 teams who definitely be in the top 40 in terms of net rating. Okay, as we move on to Coppin State, and then we got East Carolina. And make no mistake about it, this team is really, really good. But we have to get better defensively. And the third quarter was another quarter where we played really good basketball. It was offensively. Another thing that I said that we have to do is get that shooting touch back. Okay, so we had the second quarter and the third quarter where we shot the ball very well. We're talking about 60-some% and then 50% in the third quarter. And the whole game of Michigan, we shot 33% from the field. 33% from the field, 19% from the three-point line. That's horrific for Gamecocks. We shot, 40% at the 2-point line. We didn't get those easy baskets against Michigan. But now through the second and third quarter, Carolina was scoring like we thought we were going to score. I said that Fulwiley was not going to have a 2 for 10 game like she did against Michigan, shooting 0 for 4 from the 3-point line through 3 quarters of basketball. Fulwiley had 18 points, shooting 8 for 14. Fulwiley had me jumping up and down, had me screaming, had me doing everything in the Spectrum Arena. Almost made me spill my drink. It was just going on. She had it going on tonight. And it's just, when you have Fulwiley and you have Powell, who through 3 quarters had 16 points. So you had a double-double. You had those two, the twins back again. And with Powell and with Fulwiley, Powell was 16 points, 7 for 12 in the field, 2 for 5 for 3-point range. That is exceptional basketball from 2 exceptional players. You have no idea who is going to go off on this team. You don't know. I don't know. We don't know. But 2 players on that team are going to have exceptional numbers. Powell, MiLaysia, through 3 quarters, were showing that they are them. It is all when those two are rocking, it's almost like Captain Will. You are now rocking with the best. And it's those two. I mean, it's a special basketball to watch. And Pow Pow was in her bag. She was smiling. She was doing a little three. She was doing all that the stuff. And Fulwiley was playing like she on the playground, doing some stare downs. Like, you too small. You can't get up with me. That's how Fulwiley was doing tonight. She was doing. I mean, she was doing it. She was doing it and doing it and doing it well. I love it. Through 3 quarters, Raven Johnson. Raven's my girl. Raven Johnson will always be my girl. But tonight, in terms of shooting the basketball, it is a continuation from the Michigan game. We just got to keep it real. This time, we got to keep it real. So she wasn't aggressive with the basketball. She was 1 for 3 from the field through 3 quarters with 2 points. Shot 2 threes, missed those 2. So right now, I think she's 0 for 7, 0 for 6 or 0 for 7 from 3-point line through, 3 quarters of this game and the Michigan game. But in this basketball game, Raven Johnson, who's the leading rebounder through 3 quarters of this basketball game? Hollywood. Raven had 8 rebounds through 3 quarters. The 5'9" point guard extraordinaire, had 8 rebounds. And of those 8 rebounds, 6 of them were defensive. Scrappy Raven Johnson. When something's not working in terms of the shot, she will find ways to contribute defensively and rebounding the basketball. It is something. Breezy played an exceptional game, in my humble opinion, especially through 3 quarters. It may not show in the stat sheet. It may not. But Breezy played exceptional defense tonight. When I do the rewatch tomorrow, I'm gonna break it down even further tomorrow, because right now I'm in the afterglow of a victory and I'm doing my shots. And it's just beautiful. But for what I saw today, this was one of the better defensive games that Breezy played. She was balling. She was tough. She was aggressive. And that's with 2 fouls early on. That 3rd quarter, we saw some Breezy. And she had 4 points, 2 for 4 from the field. In the 3rd quarter, Feagin playing tough, continuing to do what she does. Rebound the basketball, being tough, being physical. I ain't got nothing to say about Sania Feagin. Sania Feagin played well. She played within herself. She played tough. She did things that I love Sania Feagin doing. And we all love Sania Feagin doing. Just need to be more in more of a rhythm and more repetitive and continue to do it every single game. I want to see that go against the Coppin State too. Now, I know that's an inferior team, but I don't give a damn. I don't care. I want them to dominate and continue, because you continue to preach good habits. You do it against the great teams and you do it against the inferior teams. I want to see us put in work against Coppin State. Then I want to see us put in work against East Carolina, and we'll just continue to stack victories. Okay, so this is 40 victories in a row. That is difficult. We're in the confines of the Colonial Life Arena on Thursday. They're getting their championship rings. They're getting their banner lifted up. And it's time to turn up for this basketball team. Now, we go to the 3rd quarter for North Carolina State. They finally started hitting what I thought they was going to hit. In that 3rd quarter, they were 33% from the field. That is what I thought North Carolina State was going to do. Eventually, you are what we thought you are. 33% from the field and 1 for 4 from the 3-point line. That's who we thought they were going to be. And Zamara Jones is a spark plug. She is an excellent, potentially really good basketball player. She was a 20th overall recruit in the class of 2024. I saw her up close and personal last year in the Under Armour Elite in the ATL. I saw then that she had zero fear. No fear whatsoever. She wanted all the smoke. And today, she was giving some smoke, too. Now, through 3 quarters, she was 2 for 4 from 3, 3 for 10 overall, okay? And sometimes it looks like it's just going to go in and then it rims out, but she was balling through quarters in terms of offense, even though the 3 for 10 ain't too cute, you know what I'm saying? James had 11 points through that game, and through 3 quarters, I expected more for Sania Rivers. Not going to front. I'm not going to lie that I expected more from the previous Gamecock through 3 quarters in this basketball game. She had, 2 points? 4 points? 1 for 5 from the field? That's not Sania Rivers. She had a bad game against us previously. She played terrible. And didn't shoot the ball effectively. She didn't shoot the ball effectively in this game either. Last game, we what? We won by 18 points. This game, we won by 14 points. Folks thinking that, and we saw some clips and things in the interviews, and Sania Rivers said a couple things, and it's fine, it's all love and war and blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, they went home with an L. We come to the fourth quarter. And in this fourth quarter, it was another good to great performance by the offense. We shot about 55% from the field. Carolina has found their footing in shooting the basketball. That debacle that we saw against Michigan, that ain't happening no time soon with this schedule. Okay, the shooting woes that we saw in that quarter. That game, no. 55% from the field in the fourth quarter, shooting 6 for 11 from the field and shooting 50%, 1 for 2 from 3-point range. Yeah, that's good basketball for South Carolina. Now, overall, Carolina played offensively well. 50% from the field. That's what we're supposed to do. 32 for 64. That's 50%. Didn't have to carry the one. Didn't have to round up any of those things. That's Carolina. We shot 4 for 14 from 3, 28.6%. That ain't too tight. I don't care for that too much. I want that to be increased. But Powell shot lights out. Powell had 23 points, 10 for 16 from the field, 3 for 7. 3 for 7 from the 3-point line. Fulwiley, 18 points. Fulwiley, I just can't say. She just get me excited. And the combination of those two players would combine for 41 points. That's just amazing for me. I love that basketball in any way that you can give it. I love that type of basketball. And those two players are on like they were on today. They are going to be a problem for all the basketball world. A problem. We're hearing so much about who are the best, 1-2 punch or the 1-2-3 punch in college basketball. I'll tell you this right here. If Fulwiley plays like she did today on a consistent basis this year, and I know Powell going to show up and show out this year, we in those conversations on who is the best 1-2 punch. And Powell with her 23 points and 3 assists and 3 rebounds, 2 turnovers, only 2 turnovers, 2 steals, had a phenomenal game. Watkins, I cannot say enough about Watkins, who had 6 points, 9 rebounds, a good block shot. And she's going to take a little time for her to get it together. But we see the framework of what this basketball team can be when it's fully together, and we still miss Chloe. Chloe didn't play. We still miss Chloe, so we still not at full capacity yet. But when Chloe's not there, Feagin played at 6 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. One of them was spectacular. Love that. Seeing a nice smile on her face. I know everybody's happy. Her family is happy. And if Feagin can continue, and she had 3 block shots, 1 steal. Ladies and gentlemen, if Feagin, if she gives that, come on now. She played 30 minutes. 30 minutes of great basketball. Powell played 34 minutes. I mean, come on, 35 minutes by Raven. Let's go. Let's go with this basketball team. Joyce, 8 points, 3 for 9 from the field. It was a couple times where she missed a couple of easy baskets, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds. 3 of those rebounds were offensive, which I love. What got Joyce tonight was 8 turnovers. Joyce had 8 turnovers. Now, a couple of times, it was just out of position. A couple of times she was being rushed. A couple of times she just made bad decisions. Joyce Edwards will figure it out, much just like MiLaysia Fulwiley did last season. Joyce played a total of 26 minutes. Don't forget, she also had 4 steals. If she makes a mistake on one end, she's going to make up for that mistake on the other end of some way. So she give up a turnover. Okay, I get a block shot. I get a rebound. Joyce is an exceptional basketball player. She is just a young basketball player. And what I liked about tonight, Dawn didn't take her out because she was making mistakes, because she has to learn. She has to learn. And she's going to continue to get better and better. We're just 2 games into the Joyce Edwards situation. Things are so high for this young queen. She just committed too many turnovers tonight. And the Gamecocks in all committed 20 turnovers, and that's too many, but a good almost half of those were from Joyce. Okay. So and you have Pow with only 2, and Feagin with 2, and Bree with 1, Raven with 1. It just feels better when you got a freshman who's committing those turnovers and you're integrating her into the team. Because when it's all said and done, those mistakes that you're making in November, you ain't gonna be making no mistakes in February. You ain't gonna be making no mistakes when we come to March, when the games actually matter. She's going to be an exceptional basketball player. Like I said before, somebody goes off when somebody is not going off. Tessa did not play much tonight. She only played 9 minutes. But you had a situation where Fulwiley was on. So Fulwiley with her 18 points and exceptional play. But Fulwiley only played 18 minutes. 18 points in 18 minutes. That's MiLaysia Fulwiley. When I'm in the basketball game, I'm going to show up and tear it up. That's what I do. The Gamecocks shot the ball well today. I'm so impressed with the numbers in terms of field goal percentage. And, I have to analyze the rebounds and all those percentages tomorrow when I do, kind of like an analytic breakdown. But offensively, the Gamecocks was on point throughout this basketball game. Now, in terms of North Carolina State, they shot 42% from the field. That's higher than I thought they was going to shoot. They shot exceptional the first quarter and the second quarter. And then, in the halftime came and like Don and his coaching staff do, adjustments are made. Go back to the lab with a pen and a pad, and you make everything great. And that's what happened with this basketball team. Now, it was a couple of shots that they hit in the fourth quarter that had the crowd jumping up and down. Now, I ain't gonna say the crowd. I'll say the North Carolina folks. Jones had a couple of big 3-pointers, but it was only 2 for 6 from 3. Okay, so they still shot 2 for 6 from 3 in the fourth quarter and 33%. They weren't going to stop South Carolina from scoring. That was not going to happen. Okay, because their defense wasn't as good as it was. Well, it was about the same as the defense wasn't too good against us. It just wasn't too good. And offensively, they started getting tired. You can see it because they had players that played a ton of minutes tonight. You had James, who played 35. You had Brooks, who played 29. You had Rivers, who played 28. You had Jones, who played 28. You had Hayes, who played 22. And they play a 4-guard type offense. So their guards are running up and down, got to defend on the defensive end. They got a little tired. Our depth is special. Depth is amazing. And I'm so proud of this basketball team. And it's just, our Gamecocks won a tough game. I thought we was going to win by 7 to 9 points. We ended up winning by 14 points. Offensively, we have figured it out. We could stop talking about the demise. Some folks are saying, I ain't calling no names, the demise of South Carolina women's basketball. We back. We're going to be always back. So just keep it like that. Gamecock victory. The crowd was amazing. Everything was amazing. Cheers. South Carolina women's basketball, three-time national champion, 40 in a row. Let's keep this thing going. This concludes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. That's very important. And tell everyone about Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. You are now rocking with the best. And since you are rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. I have to say one thing before I go. I have to say this right here. Zonda Daly. Zonda Daly from Walterboro, South Kakalaki. Shout out to you. Appreciate the love tonight. And Maggie Ray, thank you so much. Appreciate the love. Can't wait to see you in Colonial Life Arena. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, J-Rock did this beat.